Hi guys, I'm back again. Sorry, there was no audio at that time, some issue. So we are back. I hope my screen is visible to you all. So if I'm audible, just give me a thumbs up or a reaction or something so that I know that the video is live and people are able to view this and watch. So I guess somebody is viewing. So can you please confirm the audio is there or not? If it's not there, can you let me know the audio is visible? Audio is there? Please confirm. I'm waiting for the confirmation in the comment section below. Just mark me a comment that yes, video is there and of course audio is also there. Thank you for confirming. Okay, any background noise or something is coming up to you or no? Yep. So, okay, one more small announcement. If anybody, any friend is willing to join in this session, so please send me an invite and I'll add you to the session right now. Right? So, it's practically possible. So, before I begin, I'll brief you that yes, the machine that I'm using is a Nikon D500. Right? And I have made some changes in the settings. So I'm going to discuss a bit about those settings, what I've done. So if you can have your cameras in hand, it would be great. So that you can enjoy at least what is happening on the screen. So first thing that I'm going is through the photo shooting menu. And here you can see I've selected the image quality as fine, the image size, JPEG, TIFF, NEF, RAW, NEF recording of course. Now here there is one thing I was discussing with some friends in my WhatsApp conversation also, that should you use 12-bit depth or should you use a 14-bit depth. So kindly let me know what kind of bit depths are you using, right? So is the screen visible now? Much better? Okay, thank you. So are you using a 14-bit or a 12-bit? Please do let me know. This is one question from my end. However, I am keeping it on this thing. Again, coming down to the same. Just a second. Okay, so here we go. So one thing, are we using this? Now second is what type of ISO sensitivity are you using? So here there is a catch. So ISO sensitivity at low 1 I'm keeping here, right? And then auto ISO sensitivity is on. Maximum sensitivity, I am a person who is shooting at the highest possible ISO you can think of. However, in this scenario, in today's talk, I'll mention that yes, 3200 is a good deal to go for. Right, with this camera I'm comfortable. Even you can stretch up to 6400, I'm okay even at 10,000 at times, but the 6400 and this is a not so okay range considering the shutter speed I have, right? So maximum sensitivity, then minimum shutter speed I have kept at auto but on a slightly faster side, right? So this is one thing you should note, that on a slightly faster since you are doing bird photography. Now I did some experiments on white balance as well. Now considering the white balance, auto is the thing to go for. My recommendation is you should go for an auto white balance, which is correct in most of the cases. This one, the auto, right? However, keeping it at reduced warm colors, that is auto 0. One more thing you can do is you can play around with Kelvin. So while playing around with Kelvin, the values are like 5260K, which is fine for me. However, I have also tried reducing this value to get that accurate white balance, but it worked in favor, sometimes did not work in favor. So that is another issue. But yes, this is the thing which I like to use. Coming back to the auto, and I have set it as auto. Set picture control. So now this is the thing which I made the experiments with. I would like you all to please participate and help me out. What type of results are you getting? So be it any picture control, be it standard, be it neutral, be it vivid, monochrome, portrait. So monochrome I'm not doing. So I'm looking for colored flat and that kind of a thing. But let's say we go for a standard picture control like most of you people will be having. So here we have options for increasing the sharpness, like I can do, but you can see an A mark also, which is auto. So I have set the sharpness to auto, clarity to auto, contrast to auto, and of course saturation to auto, right? So I'll press the OK mark again, and this is what I have done. This is a new experiment. So kindly let me know if you change your settings to auto, so how your image are coming up, right? So this is the auto setting which can be done. So one thing. Then again, coming down to the color space, of course sRGB, this one, and we are not going with the Adobe RGB, but we are going with the sRGB, right? Active delighting is again I have kept at auto. Long exposure, okay. Auto distortion control, I don't know why it is off, it should be on. And flicker reduction, of course, on. Flicker indicators are on, etc. Auto bracketing, so don't use it. So HDR, again I have kept it at off. So this is one setting. Now coming down to the type of let's say video, right? So after photo shooting menu, so this is what I'm talking about, how I'm shooting the stills, right? So image area of course is there. Primary control I've taken so XUD as my primary slot. Secondary is memory card. You know, the image area DSC is absolutely fine. ISO sensitivity as I discussed. So two parameters, ISO, white balance, and of course the set picture control, which is the type of picture control we are getting. So these three things I have changed. So let me know what are your results coming after changing these settings. Again, I am coming down to one more thing quickly. So in this, okay, so let's come down to the custom setting, which is the autofocus. Here in the continuous selection mode, I have changed the priority to focus plus release, right? So this is again a change which I have made in the camera. Focus plus release is the thing which I'm talking about. Then single, when I go for like AFS, so this is only focus mode, right? As you can see, it's there. And again 55, store by orientation is a very new thing. So basically what it does, focus point plus area focus. So once you tilt the camera, you can have a different focus mode, and once you have the camera in some different, so you can change the focus mode simply by changing the orientation of the machine. So this is that thing, right? Then again I'm coming down to A3. Where is A3? Okay, I messed it up. Focus tracking with locked on. Good. All good. C3 I need to come, I guess. Self timer again, yeah, that's all good. Maximum, so it's all there, right? So basically these 2-3 settings I have changed with the camera. So let me know what all settings you use. Bluetooth is already kept at off most of the time, right? And Wi-Fi is again at kept at off. Connect to smart device again off. Location data, now this is important. External GPS, so we can so once you click, you can download from a smart device, right? So yes, it is possible. I'll share another video how to do that. So basically this is the setting which I did on my camera. I'm slightly not so happy and slightly happy, because at times I'm delighted that yes, images are coming really good, but at times it says that images are not coming really good. So kindly let me know what settings you do and what settings you need me to help you out with, or maybe if you want to arrange a session. If somebody wants to come live, you can please give me a ping, or you want to ask something, I can definitely answer it right now. So let's wave some of the people who have joined us. Thank you. And a big thank you to everyone. Thank you. Many people have joined. Sorry, my screen might be a bit wavy now. Okay, so anybody who is willing to ask me something or some question, some query, everyone is waved. Would like to use on 3D tracking. Would like to use more information on use of 3D tracking. Wow, awesome question. So basically to do that, we need a moving subject. So how it is happening, I'll show you right now. So let's say there is a test subject and we'll try to do the 3D tracking on. So I switched over to my live view. Right, this is single point focus as you can see on the screen. Maybe I need to shift over to my camera so that you get to know better. Okay, so no, it's not displaying. So let me try if I can show you on the camera itself. So there it comes. So let's say this is the 3D tracking mode which is activated right now. You can see I lock the focus and I simply press the button here. Now I move the camera, you can see the 3D tracking working, right? I'm moving the camera here and there, but the focus point is locked. So this is all the feature of all about the 3D tracking. So if you want to lock the focus at a particular point and your camera is moving slightly up and down or in left and right directions, so you can utilize this technology of 3D tracking. Whereas if you change this tracking mode, so you will see here that let's change normal and I change to single and see normal mode and wide mode, and so this is how you are changing the focus areas, right? See how it is happening. So can you see? We just lock it and see. We lock it and then you move the camera here. The focus point remains constant. So that is all about 3D tracking. Anything else you want to ask for? So good for doing still photos while using the camera. And so let me open up the machine again and we'll come to the menu systems again. So that was for 3D tracking, how we are locking the camera and how we are trying to. So what settings are you using? Can you please let me know if you asked about 3D tracking? So yes, this is the auto ISO sensitivity, white balance, picture control. Of course, we did that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Any questions? Any questions? Can 3D tracking be used for bird in flight? Negative, sir. So it will be difficult for you to pan the camera and lock it up. So it requires lots and lots of practice. Might be used, and you never know where the 3D tracking is going to lock. So I would recommend using group focus for birds in flight. So group focus is a better option to go for, and try using that with some advanced. So that group focus is only for the machines like D500. Otherwise, the machines which are better than D500 and something are still having a better. So somebody asked me, okay, let's add. No answer from the video guest live. Okay. So yes, it can be done. Any other questions? Can you use back button for bird in flight? Yes, of course. Why not? You can definitely use back button focus. So with AF on and the back button. So okay. So now interesting part again. So most of the people must be asking why not. Back button is a preferred mode with single point autofocus because the camera will quickly focus lightning fast depending on the type of lens you are using to wherever the subject area you are looking at. So how to do that? We'll come again to the menu section, go to the custom controls, and there you go. So custom control assignments. See what I have done is on my back button. So this is the back button, AF area, AF on. So I have done the AF plus on with single point autofocus. So once I press the AF button, it will do a single point. This is my preferred choice. You can assign this button to do multiple tasking like 25 points, 153, group area, group auto, etc, etc. But I prefer using a back button with a single point autofocus, that too aligned in the center, right? So that's my setting, what I use. So it's AF on Please share something on metering with some example if possible, especially for bird shooting. Okay, Ashutosh ji has asked me a very good question. Please share something on metering with some examples if possible, especially for bird shooting. What is the preferred mode, sir, which I use is spot metering. 90% reliable option to go for. And of course, one more thing which I do is AE lock. Now, how to do that? I'll show you the type of metering that we are having in the camera as of now. Right, so spot metering is the preferred option, and AE lock again. So let me come down to AE lock. It's there it is. This one. So on half press button, the exposure will be locked, right? So let's say you are shooting something on a spot metering, but sunlight is there in the background, and okay, so I'll go slow. So basically it's, I'll come back again. Yes, I also use single point back button. It works better than groups. Absolutely correct. So Chinmay ji has given a very, very valid answer. It's absolutely correct. Okay, so please share something on metering with some examples. Okay, so AE lock I was discussing. So this is the custom settings menu. Go to timers, AE lock. Go to the C1 option here. C1 is shutter release, AE. Press it up. Majority, most probably it will be on off position or in burst mode. Rather keep it on half. So basically what is happening once you are taking the shutter, so let's say there is a black subject we need to focus. I'll try to showcase you right now how the exposure varies because of using this. So let's take a photo of a mouse. So you can see there is a mouse lying there which is black color, and we click a photo, right? And now we go to the white part and we click a photo. Now you see the difference in images. See the difference, the exposure changed, right? That is because of AE lock. Can you see this is a bright and well lit image because the AE was locked on the black part, the mouse, and here I tried locking the focus on white part and it went underexposed. So that is the functionality of AE lock, how it is happening. See, there are two different images with different exposures, right? So I recommend you using a AE lock, of course. And okay, thank you, welcome. Please share something on more metering with examples, and can you use back button focus on birds in flight? Absolutely yes. Okay, what all questions are coming? Any other questions before I end up this session? Okay, I guess there's no comment coming. So let's come down back to the shooting and display, the bracketing. Thank you so much. Most welcome, sir. You try this setting, and I'm sure definitely you will see some difference in terms of the photography that you are doing. So again, so any other question, any other doubt somebody is having, I might be of some help. I'm not a very, very expert kind of a person, but yes, so far whatever information I have, I love sharing it with people. So all are our friends here. So we'll do something or the other. Nice information. Thank you so much. And now, okay, so one more thing that how many of you are using the vibration reduction feature? My theory is that if you are shooting above 2000 of a shutter, stop using the vibration reduction, right? The VR, switch it off. So that's what I recommend it, because it worked in favor of me, right? So the images are tech sharp, images are better, and if you use the VR off, that's a good thing if your shutter speeds are higher. However, one more theory, that if your shutter speed is somewhere around, let's say I'm planning to shoot at 8000, what should be the ISO, right? So I'll definitely go to the ISO settings and will approximately change this value to 8000, That's the maximum part, right? Considering it's a daylight and my auto ISO is on, so I am hoping that it will take to the lowest ISO possible, that is low 1 or maybe 100. But I'll keep the maximum as in sync with the shutter, or maybe slightly higher. If I'm planning to shoot at 10,000, then definitely I'll go for some settings like this, right? So that is one more thing which I prefer. And maximum shutter speed, as I said, is auto, right? And one more thing, so any other questions or queries that anybody is having? So ISO I keep in sync with the type of shutter that I use. But in general, I keep the ISO at 1600, that is preferred, max to 3400. So 3200 is again good to go, but other than that, it's kind of a non-usable thing that will happen, right? So for me specifically, so I keep it on auto ISO sensitivity, it's on, right? Anything else I can help you out with? Any other questions regarding the camera settings and the camera and something I can be of some help? So I'll end this session on a good note and wishing you all a great birding ahead. And one more thing, that yes, please do invite friends to the group, and please do come live and share your thoughts, knowledge, ask some questions, make this group a bit more interactive, and start liking pictures of others as well, right? So that's some part which is missing. So more ISO, noise increase for low light. Any suggestions for low light? Exposure, sir. Exposure. Start playing around with exposure. I'm using manual mode plus auto ISO, but seeing high ISO being used even in good lighting. Okay, good to go. So start playing with ISOs, the exposure part. Now what is exposure I mean? So I mean the plus minus button which is available for my D500, this one, this exposure button, right, this one. So make it on a plus side or a minus side, and if the light is low, rather than changing over the ISOs or something, better change the exposures. And if the light is less, so let me show you one more info if it is there. This one. So we'll come down to the, now you can see the screen. Now take a look at this part, the zero part. So what I'll do, if I have something now, see, I'm changing the exposure compensation now. So if the light is ambient, I'll keep it usually at -3. So this is approximately -3. And if the light is less, I'll go for +7, +3. If I'm shooting against the sun, the sun is background, I'll definitely increase the exposure to 1.7 and above. So let me show you some example if I can for this thing. So there must be something, some image must be there. Recently I clicked an owl, so let me show you that image. That was against the sunlight, and I clicked it. So you can see how the exposure. So let's take an example, this one. So this is one image, and I changed the exposure to this. Now you see the difference. It might not be very clearly visible to you because of my monitor, but yes, you can see the whiteness, how it changed, right? So this is how the exposure is working. So this is perfectly exposed almost, and this is how it is overexposed, kind of a thing. The plus and minus things, exposure compensation. Check the values, you'll get an idea. View file information. Let's see if we can see something. The ISO is at 1600, you can see, right? The ISO is at 1600. Here you go. The ISO is at 1600, and it is still a white image, right? And now come down to the next image. So let me show you the underexposed one. This is underexposed, a bit dark, and let's see the file information. the ISO is at 1400. You can see there is a tremendous amount of difference in terms of whiteness. This is 1400, this one, this is 1400, and that was 1600. So yes, exposure compensation do help a lot in terms of changing the brightness kind of a thing for your image. Notice the shutter speed is at 1/3200, aperture priority 5.6 is the aperture and 500 mm. So this is what the picture has been taken, and it's a JPEG file, so it's not even a RAW, that's why. Just wondering, can that be calibration issue? No, negative. Calibration has got to do with the focusing, and that could be the issue. If you have calibration issue with the lens, either it is front focusing or it is back focusing, or the subject might not be in focus, and multiple situations are there. So if I increase this thing, you can see that it is almost in. So let me show you. So you can see how the camera has actually focused on this image, right? It's there in front of you right now. So we increase the image a bit, and let's see. See, it's there, right? So if focusing is the problem, then I would recommend, so either the sharpness will not be there, or the camera will do a hunting like back focus and the front focus kind of a thing. And I recommend you, if that's the issue, get it calibrated with the company, and don't do any sort of a calibration thing at your end. So get it, send it to the company, authorized service centers, etc. They might be of great help to you. Right, so that's my recommendation. However, one more thing to be considered, that that thing is required only in certain cases. Once you have dropped the camera, or there is some sort of damage in terms of the threads of the camera, there is some alignment issue, so the lens is not properly attached to the camera. So that requires a sort of lens calibration, else it is not required if the lens is fitting firmly. So that is one thing. So welcome all new people who have joined me up. Thank you. So all have joined. So lots and lots of information shared, and thank you for focusing is fine, just facing high ISO problem. So what is the minimum ISO that you have selected? So let me come down again to the main menu part. So again we'll go to this. So in order to do that, set your base ISO value to okay, let me focus. Okay, so check this thing once, that once you are there with the ISO, let me show you one more thing. ISO sensitivity settings. Set the ISO sensitivity to low 1. This is the base value. Set it as low as possible. So this lowest is low 1. So you set it here. If it is on a higher side, your lowest ISO will start from this value, right? So maximum sensitivity, whatever you keep, but the lowest will start from this value. So start from 100, or maybe this value is on a higher side, right? And manual mode pe, if you are using, okay, one more thing, as you mentioned that yes, manual mode you are using, try reducing the shutter speeds. In order, because if you are not reducing the shutter speed, the ISO will automatically increase, right? So try reducing the shutter speed to keep the ISO at the lowest possible. So it's basically a mix and match kind of a thing, wherein you try to balance the shutter speed as low as possible so that you don't get shakes in low light situations, and to get details, the lowest possible ISO, that is recommended. And the third thing is, again, as I said, the exposure compensation. So play around with it, take it on a plus side, and you might be able to get something or the other. So hopefully that resolves your query. So we'll end this session on a good note, and thanks a lot for joining me up for this quick small session, and wishing you all a happy birding. Any other questions, do let me know in the comment section. I'll revert with that, with a video or with a text. So this is Abhinav signing off. Thank you.